Okay, very quickly, I'll show you how I clean my brushes at the end of the day. I use soap and water to clean my brushes. I get a little bit of water on it. It can be cold or warm water, doesn't matter. I'll put a little bit of soap. This is just plain old dish soap in the palm of my hand. And I'll take the fan brush to start. I rinse it out, and then I go into the soap and I just swirl that brush against my palm. That usually gets out any paint that maybe is dried in there or left in the bristles. And then I just rinse the brush out. Now if that soap and water get really dirty, I can rinse my hand off. And then I'll just repeat that step for each brush that I have. I'll even clean the knife that way too. Now as far as the palette goes, what I usually do is I just scrape off excess paint onto a paper towel with my knife. And you want to make sure that you've got some paper towels down or something, just so you don't get your counters all. But I just scrape that off, as much as I can get off of there. Now some of it will be dried on there because it takes a while to paint, and these are acrylics that dry fairly fast. I do try to get as much of that off of there as I can. And then I run it under water. I put a little bit of soap on the palette, a little bit of the dish soap, and take a scrub brush and just scrub pretty well. Now it may take a few minutes to get that paint to loosen up, and you may even have to lay it down on the bottom of the sink. Just give it a good scrub. A little more water running there. And it takes a couple of times usually. I put a little more soap on there. Take my scrub brush. That'll help loosen that paint up. Now you may want to get help from your parents at home when you're doing this. And I'm always careful to make sure that the paint doesn't dry in the sink. When I'm done, I'll wash the sink out. So I just scrub on that. Now it's coming off. Just a little bit of pushing on that brush usually does it. Scrub back and forth, round in circles. And then there you can see my palette is nice and clean and ready to use for the next time. And then I just dry it off and set it aside. Now my knife did get a little bit dirty when I did that, but I can do the same thing. I take a little bit of soap and water and just use that scrub brush and just clean off the knife. Now I also make sure that my sink isn't dirty afterwards. I'll just run the water for a little bit. Get rid of any paint that's splashed that's still wet before it dries. And your brushes and palette will be good to go for the next time you paint. Now here's a little pro tip. If for some reason your brush got paint dried in it and you just can't get it out with soap and water, one thing that works really, really well is just some alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And I just squirt a little bit into the palm of my hand. Now you can see there how that paint is coming out. It dissolves the paint, and then I just rinse it out with water. But if soap and water doesn't take the paint out, try a little bit of just some alcohol-based hand sanitizer and just rub that brush in the palm of your hand to get out excess color.